Aloha everyone, what is really good my dudes? Today is July 27, 2020. We got another RuneScape update for y'all. Today we see the release of the new quest, Desperate Measures, so without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go!
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, today's update is the newest quest in the Dragonkin and Elder Gods storyline, Desperate Measures. Last time during Desperate Times, all seemed lost, the World Guardian was betrayed, Needle was stolen, and Saren's council was no closer to placating the Elder Gods. 1 year later, Thok and Karos have tracked down Kerapac in Anachronia. They're going to need your help to uncover his base of operations and foil his plans. So in order to get started with the quest Desperate Measures, you need to meet the following requirements. Completion of Desperate Times, 50 Archaeology as well as Agility, RuneScape membership, and 75 Combat is recommended. Now to begin this quest you want to head on over to Saren's Council north of Burthorpe Lodestone. I'm not going to give any big reward spoilers, but just know that if you do complete the quest, you are going to receive a bunch of rewards, including something special that will give you a good boost to your archaeology research, as well as an item that Thok fans can't do without. And with the help of the ninja team, a new totem has been added to the Anachronia base camp, which will allow you to recharge all your other totems. In order to build it, you're going to need to collect all the parts, and to get started, you'll get one of them as a reward from Desperate Measures. Speaking of ninjas, they're temporarily closing the Ninja Dojo. They say that they have received 9,861 challenges in the few months since the dojo opened. At the time, they have already accepted a quarter of these challenges. Less than 1% of the submissions they receive are spam, so there is a lot of work for them to do. So from this Friday, which is July 31st, the dojo is going to be temporarily closed while the ninjas tackle this colossal task. The dojo itself is also going to get a new fresh coat of paint when it comes back eventually. And you can continue to submit your challenges to the dojo up until the Friday on the 31st at rs.game/ninja. That is it for the main game update announcements. I'm going to shift on gears over to the patch notes and see what's been changed with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with improvements, Entrana's custom agents have wised up and will now reiterate the rules about auras when entering Entrana via balloon. Penguins can now be caught using Protean traps. The tooltip for Tier 1 Boots of Trials will now display the set effects. There's now an achievement for getting halfway to 120 Slayer. Burying Zoger bones will now count towards your daily prayer task. You can no longer use Escape or Surge while transformed into a Goblet. The emote icon in the community dropdown will now display as grayed out when the emotes interface is open. The inventory icon for Split Bark Boots is now centered. The Protect Item Prayer will now appear on the buff bar when activated via Quick Prayer. The Information Clerk at the Varric Museum will now display the remaining kudos you have yet to receive rather than hiding it away in the chat log. Casting any type of Vengeance spell will now add a cooldown timer to the debuff bar. Previously only the original Vengeance spell would do this. Moving on to fixes, the description for the offhand daggers in Yerby's store has been updated. Using the magic carpet to travel will no longer interrupt scan or compass clues. The description for Globetrotter armbands in Zyda's shop has been updated for their new functionality. Members' items in reward shops across Gielinor will now correctly display as owned on free-to-play worlds, provided they have been unlocked of course. Fixed some dialogue in one of the Penguin quests. Corrected some capitalization errors in the text surrounding fish bowls. Acadia logs will no longer transform into magic logs when burning. The outline for the enemy health panel will no longer persist if it's moved upon enemy death. The ninja button has been deleted from the community Vote Now interface. Fixed a typo in Evil Dave's spellbook. Radburgis' task reward dialogue about scepter charges has been corrected. Fixed a typo in the end of the Shades of Morton quest. Updated some dialogue in Fate of the Gods to match the voiceover. The Observatory Professor will no longer welcome you back on your first visit. Fixed an issue where Perils of Ice Mountain was incorrectly shown as complete in the quest list. A typo in the warning message that appears when selecting Reset Tab Order in the bank has been fixed. Fixed a typo in the Book of Ham seen in Zoger Flesh Eaters. A typo in a warning message during Salt in the Wound quest has been corrected. Fixed typos in Party Pete vs. Neighbor court case report text, the examined text of the Pyromatic, and in Lubufu's dialogue during Taibuanai Trio. Archaeologists have corrected a typo in the battered letter found in the Temple of Sentistan, and a typo has been fixed in the defense skill guide. Magic Notepaper now works on grapes. The player model will no longer stretch when clicking the Gobi mask in the shipyard interface in the player-owned ports. The code in the Fairy dossier during Fairy Tale 3 are now displayed correctly. Fixed an issue that made the Dress to Impress achievement trigger incorrectly. Explorer Jack will no longer dispense unlimited magic staves. Items in the Flash Powder reward shop are now priced correctly. Niles will now tell the correct location of the banknotes button in the bank interface. The ladder leading to the heist minigame is now capitalized. The progress bar now displays correctly when transmuting charms. Fixed a bug that prevented the player from being able to note unenchanted jewelry with magic notepaper. The giant oyster will no longer claim that it has been opened tomorrow 2 days in a row. The text on the barbarian teleport spell is no longer cut off. Tooltips for potions that restore health now display the correct stats in legacy combat mode. Fixed an issue where the quest point cape would not respond correctly to the options checked in the retro skill cape menu. Defeating any bosses in the world wakes with loot share active will now correctly advance you to the appropriate quest state. And fixed an issue where the large shell would stall a player in PvP zones. Finally, we're going to close out with some hotfixes from last week. The Dungeoneering hole can now be accessed during happy hour even with a full temperature gauge. Sandy caskets can now be opened whilst the temperature gauge is at capacity. The chance of receiving a task skip token from training on the beach has been reduced. Sun cream and cocktail buffs gained from the beach should now boost your skills appropriately. And finally, farming Dungeoneering experience gained on the beach will no longer scale down when leveling past 99. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. Head on over there to check them out. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you have enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. And as I appreciate you watching, I am out. Aloha.